This is Drop and Drop Out, the weekly podcast where a mix of gamers come together to talk all about video games. I'm your host, Patrick, dropping in this week, the homie Jerica, a.k.a. Jerica Chew. Jerica, welcome to the show. How are we doing?
Phenomenal.
Yeah?
Very classy tonight. Not gassy for once.
Whoa, classy, not gassy. I love that.
That's me. My desk isn't trying to kill me.
Okay.
If you missed Spotlight Games yesterday night, was that yesterday?
That was yesterday night. Yeah.
Wow.
Or no, that was 2 nights ago. That was 2 nights ago.
Really? Okay. Yeah. See, I can't tell. My desk tried to kill me, but not anymore. I refuse to do anything with it. It's like a little baby deer. I had to straighten out his leg. You know, Bambi's trying to walk on the ice. That's been my desk.
Little fawn.
Yeah, a little baby fawn.
I love that. Also dropping in, Jake Twitchin from twitch.tv/ How we doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm fired up. Listen, sometimes I like the topic. Sometimes I love the topic. I love the fucking topic today. I'm very, very excited.
Hell yeah. Tonight we are going to be breaking down today's developer_direct, in which Xbox talked about all sorts of goodies. And then we're going to round out the show with like a deep dive into Fable, because they ended with Fable. So we're going to end with a big Fable conversation ourselves. But before we do that, we have some fun little housekeeping things to get through. Jerica already mentioned Spotlight Games earlier this week. She joined me over on Spotlight Games to talk about Life is Strange Reunion. And then the night before that, her, Josh, and Kayla talked all about Life is Strange as well. So all sorts of Life is Strange content out there in the ether. But if you've been around lately, you've known all sorts of things that we've been announcing for our in-person live stream, 2-day stream event happening next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So far, we've announced the Halo 2 Jamboree 2, which is going to be happening Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern time, here on twitch.tv/drop-in-drop-out-pod. However, we have some more things to announce. Isn't that right, Jake?
That is correct.
To kick off the Friday stream, we're going to be, I've dreamt for quite some time about doing all sorts of game shows, Jerica.
Oh.
And we're kicking off the Friday night stream, 7 p.m. Eastern time. God, I hope that's right. I didn't write the time for that one, but I think it's right.
Sounds about right.
7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central, with host on host. Wait, no, that says noon Saturday. Fuck me and my dirty little ass.
This is why we're announcing it now. It's early. It's
practicing.
It's evening time on Friday.
Evening time on Friday.
I really want to say host on toast so bad.
Ooh,
Can we also have a picture of
good.
I don't know. Maybe there's a piece of toast at some point we incorporate to that. I don't know. But it's also just fine the way it is. I just want to say toast.
Sure.
Because I love toast.
Oh, you know what is Friday
now, so that we can put out a nice informational graphic here.
Yeah, for sure. So, host on host, you might be wondering, what? Those are just words. What does that mean? If you know the Newlywed Game, you know host on host. This is an idea that we've been cooking on for a very long time. It was a Cognitive Clips' idea. Essentially, it's going to be me and Cayman versus Jerica and Kayla, the Spotlight Games podcast versus the JK Games podcast, playing essentially the Newlyweds game, which will be very, very fun. So we're doing that on, I guess, Saturday at noon, but we'll send an updated schedule if I'm wrong on that time. And then we've already announced the song battle, the video game music battle, happening Saturday night as well. But we're just going rogue. If Kayla's in the chat, she's going to be so pissed. But we're on Friday. We're also going to do some Fantasy Critic. Fantasy Critic will return Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time on 1:30. This is going to be this is right. This is the big kickoff event. We're going to start with a little bit of like a messy pod situation where we're going to kind of bring to the table maybe some rule changes, some ideas on things that we want to adjust with Fantasy Critic. And that will lead right into our Fantasy Critic draft for 2026. And this year, Josh going to be playing with us, which will be very fun. So that is going to be how we kick off the Friday night shenanigans. And then, of course, something that people don't know a ton about yet, but I am going to go ahead and say this is a baby of Noah C92's. Noah has been helping me build what we are calling Boss Fight, a video game trivia show in which basically everybody, except me, because I'm going to be hosting, is going to be going against Jake in the video game trivia boss fight. If you've ever watched Stump the Schwab, it was an old ESPN trivia show. The premise was there's an expert, and then the three contestants are trying to beat the expert, essentially. And we have adapted that into a video game version called Boss Fight. So all of these game shows, I mean, Fantasy Critic, not a game show, but we're going to keep cooking on these and bring them back at various points from time to time, almost in like a jamboree style. So very excited about that. So we have Fantasy Critic, we have Halo 2 Jamboree 2, we have Host on Host, which is the Newlywed Game. We have Boss Fight, we have Song Battle, we have all sorts of fun shit planned for the in-person live stream event next weekend. So, and there's even a lot more than that. So we're going to keep you busy with all sorts of fun, entertaining things. Jake, what am I missing?
I don't think anything. I mean, what we're trying to do is we're trying to announce a bunch of shit right now so that you can have times in your head once we give you a nice visual aid of the things that you're going to be around for, because we're going to be live for a very long time, and we hope to see you guys there for if you can make it for all 12 hours on day 2, you're going to have a fucking blast. If you can hang out on night 1, you're going to have a fucking blast. That's exactly right. Very, very fun plans ahead of us.
That is exactly right. Coal Mines asks, the Super Secret Jamboree isn't this event, right? That's a few months from now, correct. The Super Secret Jamboree will happen, but it has been put on a bit of a hiatus at the moment for reasons that maybe I'll talk about at some point.
They're super secret reasons.
But there's super secret reasons. But it will happen, and it will be very fucking fun. But you know what? Because I'm feeling a little spicy right now, and I part of the Super Secret Jamboree was to slowly unveil secrets over time. I will tell you that the Super Secret Jamboree was the first attempt at making my game show dreams come true. So that's a little hint about the Super Secret Jamboree. It will be something that makes sense in that realm. So, all right. I think that's all of our housekeeping. I think the house is kept. Would anybody disagree on the panel?
Kept.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Developer Direct. This is an event. If you don't know somehow, you're just watching the show and you're like, ooh, I wonder what they're going to talk about today. I don't really follow video games at all. The Xbox Developer _Direct is an event that they do. Is it like definitely every January, Jake, that they do this?
It's every January. This is the 4th one.
Yeah. And then do they also do maybe sometimes throughout like one at another point in the year, or no?
They do like an Xbox showcase for about 3 years now, but the Developer Direct is singular, always late January.
But it's just like super hyper produced check-in on a few different games in a few different studios in Microsoft's ecosystem, sometimes third party, like we have a third party game here today. And we just get a deep dive. Usually we get dates. Usually we get like a really in-depth look in the game. So we're going to talk about it. The games for today were Forza Horizon 6, were Beasts of Retaliation. Is that what was it called? Beasts of Reincarnation. Reincarnation. The secret unveiled game was Kiln from Double Fine, and then they ended it with Fable. So we're just going to go through it in that order. Actually, before we do that, though, let's check in on what we thought about it as a whole. Overall thoughts about the Developer Direct. Jake, let's start with you.
I am so glad to be talking about this show in particular, because not only individually on that level are the games very interesting to me, but the Developer _Direct, and I will always say the underscore whenever possible, is easily my favorite format of any show out of any PlayStation State of Play or Nintendo Direct or a regular Xbox showcase or anything like that. This has quickly become, even after the first one, I was like, this is exactly the format in which I want to see updates on my games. Yeah. It is absolutely perfect. Not only do I get usually a full trailer's worth of just like raw gameplay or like pre-rendered cutscenes. Sometimes there's just a trailer baked right into it. But then you also get those developer interviews. You also get those explanations of what's happening on screen. You get that fucking developer commentary. It is just such a strong presence and so exciting to look forward to. And then it delivers every single time as well. And this is their strongest showing yet. Unbelievable show.
I am pretty aligned with you. One of the games I just didn't really care much for Beast of Reincarnation, but it didn't look bad either. I was just kind of bored by it because it's not really my type of game. But I agree. Like, I think the developer underscore direct is probably the strongest presentation in video games at the moment. For a long time, I thought Nintendo Directs were the kind of the bar, but we've had so many duds of Nintendo Directs at this point, and we've really never had a dud of this. There have been some of these, of the 4 that we've had, where it's like, okay, the smattering of games just didn't speak to me as much, but they're always so well produced. There's always, at the very least, one major headline that comes out of it. And so, yeah, I've been all in on this, and I continue to be all in after today. Jerica, what did you think at a high level on the Developer Direct?
I mean, I agree with y'all. I think this format has also won my heart because it has created a standard of what to expect from the developer directs. And then I don't know, like when you know, even if you know it's not going to be like the Fable's a big thing. There's always like, like a pretty cool headlining thing that
Right.
drives a lot of traffic, I'm sure. But they're really transparent on what they're going to show. There's always like a small surprise, sometimes like a medium to large surprise, but there's always something you don't expect. And that just creates a sense of excitement. And just to know that we get it every year, we know what's expected of it. It doesn't change formats, it doesn't change size or scope. Like, I love that. They found what works. And I really hope like other developers and PlayStation can probably I'm just ready for PlayStation to have a format that works and see something. So I gotta hand it to Xbox. Like, this is really cool. We know what we get. It's also just good, and I like hearing them from the developers and like the passion that, and I feel like it's not even, obviously they're reading from a teleprompter, but whatever, like it's not, they do well preparing for this show. Cause I feel like anytime that someone is on stage or in the center explaining and talking about the game and the passion they have with it, what part of the game they're working on, it just seems really natural and not forced. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. It doesn't seem forced. And it's just good. Like, I like listening to them.
I agree.
And you just don't get a lot of that. It's perfectly paced. You hear them talk about the game, but then they cut to like some gameplay. Like, what they're talking about is what's being presented on the screen, but you also get to see their point of view on a few things. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And Fringe in the chat makes a really good point. It feels like the direct respects the devs and the audience because like the pacing is always so tight.
Yeah, perfect.
And one thing that I also really love about them, and this one, Heroic Headgear made me think of this by saying the entire Kiln section with the devs was great. That they really let the devs kind of have their own voice with it in a way that like, oh, I see what the vibe is at Double Fine. I could have guessed what the vibe was at Double Fine based on the games they make. But like seeing the way that they did their presentation was like, oh, like as I was watching, I was like, man, I have no right to work at Double Fine, but what a dope place to work, I'm sure. Like, if I were ever to go into games, Double Fine would be like in my absolute short list of developers to try to go work for. Jake.
Fucking Psych Odyssey.
Yeah.
Psych Odyssey. Oh, God, I will take any opportunity to preach that. But it is the coolest place to work, and it's all on footage for 30 hours. You can go watch how cool it is to work there. But yeah, shout out to whoever the behind the scenes producers are. The documentarians, I would assume, is kind of like the most like is kind of what they're doing.
Someone that's the person that's documenting all this or trying to tell a story with different games. Like, whoever is
for sure
making it flow together is really good.
Yeah.
It's a team for sure, and it is a team that is very, very good at what they do because they go to 4 to 5 studios a year. Like, they create a very coherent piece that stands both alone but also matches everything else. And then when it's all produced up to the nines, there's also like this really nice like visual distinction that this developer direct has compared to any other showcase, where the aesthetic with like the hand drawn like colors and shit like that on the grid paper and circling and the way that all the motion goes, it's just, it hasn't fucking changed in 4 years, and it's still just some of the strongest like Xbox branding I have ever seen.
Yeah,
just on like a little 1 hour video.
I get like Day of the Dev like vibes from it, so I feel like they've got to have hands in this too, because I just feel like there's a part of that like essence like in the developer directs.
Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
like
the
how that's
branding
formatted
is
too.
so strong because Friendship makes a good point. These dev segments could be dragged and dropped into any of the previous developer underscore directs and would flow so smoothly. For sure. Like
Yep.
the branding is so on point that they can all it could just be mix and match any of them and it'll work. Which I do love. It's like and Dan Good earlier saying it's my favorite thing Xbox does. Me too. It's like I feel like the Xbox that shows the developer directs is so often not the Xbox we get most of the rest of the year. And I'm like, what I want that Xbox more. I want this Xbox that's like giving a voice to their developers, letting them celebrate their wins and like be excited about their shit. I wish we got that more from Xbox because you
Yeah.
sure as shit aren't getting it from PlayStation.
Well, these are the only studios they got left, right? I feel like that's everybody right now.
I
Who else
mean,
is going to show up at the
I
developer
mean,
direct?
sure.
Just
I
remember
was
this
sorry. Go ahead.
after we shit on Xbox for the rest of the year, because
No,
you
for
know it's
sure.
coming.
For sure. I was a little not disappointed because I was so excited to see Double Fine with Kiln, but I can't help
Yeah.
but wonder like where is Arcane? Where is Blade? Like where are these some of these other things that they're working on? I'm sure like we'll see them at some point in the next 12 months, but it does get me excited for the future of like, oh, there's still some big hitters that they've still not shown. And like we didn't see Psychonauts 3 still. So anyway, let's jump into the first game that they showed, which was Forza Horizon 6. We're going to Japan. We're going all over the country of Japan in Forza Horizon. Jake, are you a Forza girly?
Yeah, I have played every single Forza game, no asterisk. I love the Forza series and I love the Horizon series. And much like the rest of the world, what started with Forza Motorsport for me and like for Forza Horizon 1 and 2, I was kind of into, but I was still more of the sim racer. I have absolutely pivoted. And since Forza Horizon 3, 4, 5, it has been such a pleasing series to watch evolve. And it's a lot of why I have so much faith in Playground games leading up to Fable's announcement and what we're even seeing today, which obviously we're going to get to today. But yeah, Forza quickly became one of my favorite racing franchises, and it remains to this day. I'm really excited to hear where you guys are at on this game.
Yeah, I was really actually quite impressed with the Forza part of the presentation because I like growing up, I was watching your live stream and I was chatting with Noah in the chat about this. Like growing up, I loved a car game. Need for Speed Underground, fucking even Gotham Racing or whatever that Project Gotham Racing, like the super sim heavy racers. I loved Burnout. Like any version of a car game I loved. I thought they were so fun. The loop was so enticing because it was always just like the same but different. That really worked for me when I was young. And yeah, Cruising USA, good pull friendship. But then as I got older, I started to really pull away from car games because I felt like I wanted more of a different, unique experience whenever I picked up the controller for the, at like a high level sweeping statement type thing. Like obviously there's a lot of repetition in other games, but I felt like, oh, all I'm ever doing is driving. I would just get a little bored by that. But then over the years, like, oh, Forza gets so much hype. So then last time, not the year, whenever Forza 5 came out, I played that a little bit on Xbox. And I was like, oh, this is really like nice. I see the hype, but it's just still not for me. But something about the setting of Japan and seeing them like drive through Kyoto and up the mountain and all this shit, I'm like, oh, I think this might actually be a Forza game I played day one, Jake. It
Yeah,
looks
I think it should
fucking
be.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Jerica, do you care about Forza at all?
Yeah. We talked about on Spotlight the games like, I played Horizon a little bit, but then, the Hot Wheels edition is what really got me back to playing because that's a part of Horizon, right?
Yeah.
Whatever's on Game Pass, that's what I've been fucking playing. That's why I'm playing it because it's on Game Pass.
Sure.
But I liked my experience with that because I've never been like a realistic car sim player because I'm like, this is too real life. I either want to really fly a plane or drive like Need for Speed, like fake cars, easily drivable
Mm-hmm.
cars. But I really like Horizon because I feel like or at least Forza, the one Horizon and maybe the previous one, I don't feel like they're as fine tuned to a sim, right? I feel like it's a little easier than like Gran Turismo, in my opinion. I just
Yes.
haven't played Gran Turismo in a really long time. But I felt like this was easier to jump into and still have like a more realistic driving experience, not just arcadey. Um, and then also like for me, I'm really excited about also getting to Japan. This is just a joke, but not really. I just want to drive a mini truck around. Can I race in mini trucks? I
Ooh.
saw one. Y'all know I've been like perusing Facebook Marketplace for a mini truck. It's in my wheelhouse of affordability.
I didn't
And
know you've
like
been perusing the marketplace for a mini truck.
mini trucks and mini motorcycles because there's
Oh my
such a
very
God.
thing.
cool.
I just
I had
want
no
little
idea.
tiny vehicles. Yes, I've been looking. Unfortunately, like they're obviously all of them are from Japan, and the steering wheel is on the other side. So I don't know if I can do that here or not. I'm sure it's fine,
I don't know.
right?
I've never
Well,
seen a steering wheel on the wrong side here in America. Have
Well,
you?
the ones that are local to me here in Alabama, the steering wheel's on the wrong side for us. So they're not from here. The cars. I don't know how the mini truck got here. You can drive like a Japanese car here or a car from like Europe, right? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
is it just harder? Like, I feel like
You
it mess you
technically
up.
the wheel doesn't have to be on either side of the car. That's not
Really?
a
I
legal
I,
thing.
I just
No.
feel like I'm curious because I've just never driven with the steering wheel on the other side.
I did
I don't know what that's
last
like.
year in Europe, and it's a
Well,
doozy at first.
the roads are made for that though, like to be on that
Sure,
side though, right?
but
So
it still
what
feels fucking
happens?
weird.
I
But
want to try it
that's
so
a good
bad.
question.
Didn't mean to derail us, but yeah, mini
No,
trucks. I'm in day
I love
one.
a
I saw
derail.
a few in the trailer.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to get our hands on it pretty soon. This game is coming May 19th. And if you want to drop a few bucks, you can get early access on May 15th for the premium edition, which we've talked about it before, but I hate this monetization of getting the game 4 days early. That is like a business model now.
Okay. I'll defend it for Forza because I've had a really good experience with it in the past. So with Forza, not only do you get the early stuff, but you get the DLC that is not, to my knowledge, I don't think ever becomes free on Game Pass. Like you only ever get the basic version of the game. If you ever want to play the actual like DLC packs, I think you need to buy them for your Game Pass game still. So you get that, and it always injects me right back in because the last two DLCs for Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5 have been worth my fucking price of entry. They're so sick. It was the Lego one and then the Hot Wheels one, and both of them
Yeah,
are fucking fantastic. Like
I don't even
Okay.
feel like
it
they were that much money. I don't remember paying a lot for that edition
I think
either.
$30 or something, like 25 or
Yeah.
$30 or something like that.
Well, I'm excited to jump in. I will certainly be playing this day one. I want to bring in some folks from the Discord. If you don't know, if you go to dropindropoutpod.com, you can join the Discord. Each episode, we have a little discussion question that we like to bring on the show for another perspective than just our three perspectives. Cirrus, who's in the chat right now, hi Cirrus, says Forza having a delayed release on PS5 is fine. They tend to have campaign issues to start anyway, so it gives them time to iron them out. That's a good point. I will probably just roll with the Game Pass version. And maybe if I love it, I will buy it on a PlayStation because I do prefer playing my games on a PlayStation. Noah says Forza's a day one for me every time anyway, and this one looks so fucking cool with all the creation stuff going on. I don't think I caught the creation stuff happening, but I trust him implicitly. Coal mines, Forza, not really his thing, but it looks pretty, which we respect. And then Heroic Headgear saying Tokyo Drift the game. I mean, that's all we need. If I can't role play as DK the Drift King, I'm not going to get too much time out of this, Jake.
Let me knock it a half point here. Love this, but could we have gotten like a little night cycle maybe some fucking street lights and some neon?
Yeah, no, you're
like,
right.
I was waiting for that. Like what's like the equivalent to like a visual needle drop of like, and when you wait till night, and then it's like the fucking lights fade down.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That would have been
That
very
is
good.
surprising that we didn't get. Maybe they're holding back. Maybe that's the one last thing we get to see. But I feel like it would have been here if it
when
was
I think
a big
about
deal.
it, I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think they've ever done a night cycle. I think it's always
Really?
just daytime, and then their thing is the seasons.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
For the
it.
last couple.
Okay.
I mean,
Makes
Cherry
sense.
Blossom season is going to go so fucking hard in this game. And
So
the
stupid.
maple
It's
of
so
autumn.
good, yeah.
Oh my God. Here's my question though.
They do.
Sears says, huh? They do nighttime. Yeah. I'm like, wait,
Okay.
if I can't do nighttime if I can't drive through all the lights in Shibuya or like Akihabara, I'm like, why am I playing this game? That's
Interesting.
like,
Yeah, they must be saving it then because there was
yeah,
not a single fucking nighttime shot in that entire trailer.
yeah, which is weird. I kept waiting for it.
I just want this generation's Need for Speed Underground, but like,
Yeah,
I need that again.
I'm telling you, Need for Speed Unbound is
It's
the
on
closest
PlayStation
thing to
Plus. I
Underground.
saw.
Yes, it is right now.
I
I love
downloaded it
that
to my
game.
library.
Yeah,
ooh,
it's Criterion developed, the people that did like the good Need for Speeds 2012 and 2014 or 2010, 2012, as well as the Burnout series. And it's like the closest thing that we've ever had from Need for Speed to an Underground 3. To the
On our
point
way
of
later.
if they would have just called that fucking unless EA is saving their
Yeah.
break glass in case of emergency Need for Speed title to just finally reboot and fucking put out Need for Speed Underground 3. I truly believe that if they would have just named Need for Speed Unbound, Need for Speed Underground 3 and put out the exact same game, it would have like doubled its sales.
sure.
Weird. But they
Okay.
haven't done that. Strange.
Any final thoughts on Forza Horizon 6 before we move to game number 2? Okay.
Let's do 10 on Need for Speed. No, I'm just kidding.
After Forza Horizon 6, Game Freak, who you might know from Pokemon, brought out a game that we've seen before. I don't remember where we saw it. It might have been Game Awards. It might have been Summer Game Fest. I don't remember what it was, but we got our first deep dive into Beast of Reincarnation. Did this do anything for either of you? Beast of Reincarnation.
No.
Sort like I
Yeah.
told y'all before the show, I'm like, of all the things at the direct, I did have to skip through this one because I was running out of time. But I was just trying to like catch some glimpses and maybe listen in. I'm like, because I really don't know what the pool of this game's going to be and like what's the gameplay
Sure.
like. I did like the fact that you have a wolf companion. That seemed cool. But that's all I know and saw that intrigued me.
They explain it as a one person, one dog action RPG. And I do like
Ooh.
Doggy. I'm excited about Doggy. But for me, and like Coal Mines in the chat says, I'm decently excited for this game. I'll need to get a deeper story synopsis. For me, this game will live and die on whether people say the story is compelling. Because it has that same like general wash of the Stellar Blade types of this like, oh, you're running around in like an environment that has all sorts of elements and shit, and you're swinging a sword, you're jumping long and big, and you're dodging, you're parrying, and it'll be pretty, but the story will mean less than nothing, is the vibe I get from it. And it's like, I've tried to get into those a handful of times, and they've just never grabbed me a single time. So I don't think that this will be the one. However, it is exciting in a way, and Jake, I'm curious if you agree on this, to see Game Freak make something that doesn't look like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, I wonder. It is fascinating to me, mostly from that standpoint of like they are obviously criticized very harshly by me and others for their work on like the below average Pokemon games that, again, really hard to criticize the biggest IP in the world. Whatever they're doing is working.
Sure.
But the games from like a gaming standpoint basically have not met the mark in 2 decades. And Game Freak appears responsible, but also Pokemon is so fucking strange in the way that it's run, where it's like Nintendo and Game Freak and Monsters Inc. Creatures Inc. We got there. I wonder if it's like constraints from those other companies and pressure to develop this way and in this time. So I want to see if they can make something that is good, because the other efforts that they've made outside of Pokemon in the last decade, I'm pretty sure the best that we've got is like Pocket Jockey, which is like the weird solitaire pony racing mobile game.
What?
I'll be honest,
really think
I
that's
had
the
never
last-
heard of that game until your stream earlier today. I had no idea.
Yeah, Pocket Jockey, and like they
Let me
did
find it on
Tembo the
YouTube.
Badass Elephant, which is like a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up game, which is actually pretty good, but I don't understand how no one knows. It's published by Sega. Apparently they did some older stuff too, like a mobile rhythm game, but generally a very unimpressive repertoire, including the Pokemon games from Game Freak. So let's see how they do making the same game everyone else makes.
I'm looking at Pocket Card Jockey. Does Mr. the Human Plays know about this game? It's got horses that are racing.
Interesting.
They don't jiggle, so maybe not. But
right, are they scantily clad?
Jordan, get Eric on the line. See if he knows about Pocket Jockey. If he can do a little stream of this, perhaps. Nate, get Eric, get your boy on the line. Do either of you think this is a day one for you, Beast of Reincarnation?
What do we get a release date on this?
I don't think we got a date. I was scrolling the Xbox Wire article here, and I'm not finding a date. And I don't think they said a date in the direct. Jake, do you remember anything about
this
a
summer.
date? Summer. They said summer.
Vague
Okay.
summer. But Game Pass day one, and I fear I'll fucking farm a clip of it somewhere and then fall off after one playthrough. So yeah, I'm in day one.
Depends what's out. Like if there's nothing like breathing down my back. What do you say? Breathing down my neck? That sounds wrong too. What is
my neck,
saying?
my back?
My neck, my back. Right.
It could be.
Oh, that reminds me of a video I need to send y'all.
Oh,
there was a choir singing that song, and they mix it with milkshake, like a mesh between. Yeah, in the milkshake song, and it was really good. And it was a choir singing it, and I'm like, I want that sung at my funeral in the same way. I'll send it to y'all later.
Please do.
It depends what else is breathing down my back, in terms of games. If there's nothing else breathing on me, then I'll play it because it's on Game Pass.
I really thought you were going to choose a different word from that song after the conversation, but ultimately I think it's a good thing you didn't. It's a good thing you didn't. Cognitive Clip says that Pokemon is so weird because it's equally owned by Nintendo, Game Freak, and someone else, depending on exactly which media is being made. You know that when there's that much money being involved, then at some point the Saudi group and Jared Kushner is going to get their hands in there too, I'm sure. So we'll see. Okay, next up was, I think for me, ultimately the most exciting part of the afternoon, which was the secret game being revealed, Jake, as Kiln from Double Fine. What'd you think about Kiln?
Dude, I popped so hard for this. I have said the word kiln more than most people that are not in the clay industry over the past 3 years. Since the release of Psychonauts 2 and seeing the Psych Odyssey thing, which is so cool again from this standpoint of getting a look behind. The thing that he teased at the beginning, tangent time, is the coolest thing in fucking video games to me. It is at Double Fine internally, they do something every single year called Amnesia Fortnite, where the idea is you take 2 weeks, forget everything that you're working on, and you have a fucking game jam. And from those game jams, games are born for the company. I'm sure that's where Keeper came from. I know that's where Kiln came from. Costume Quest and others have also been birthed from that, as well as some levels in Psychonauts and some concepts for gameplay elements. So Kiln was shown very specifically and almost highlighted as one of the games at Amnesia Fortnite 2021 or 2020, maybe 2019. I don't know. It's been in the works for some time. This is a very, very cool video game. And the second that Double Fine came up and the fire illuminated it on the thing, I was like, this is Kiln. I am so fucking hyped.
Yeah, I've still not watched Psych Odyssey. It's my biggest regret in life, actually, that I still haven't watched it. And I can change that at any point. I just still haven't, because I love Double Fine so much and I love Psychonauts so much. But for some reason, I haven't taken the plunge. I think knowing that it's 30 hours is scary to me. But I've heard about Kiln and I've heard about Amnesia Fortnite and I've heard all these stories. But man, I did not have any idea what this project could be. And just the more I kept watching this, the more I was like, I am so fucking in on this, because as the folks in the audience know, and as you two know, I'm sure as well, I am not a multiplayer girly. I don't give a shit about multiplayer games really ever, but every now and then a concept gets me and catches me. And this, I am so fascinated by this idea of building your building your pottery and then using that in this a multiplayer battle against other people who have also built their devices as well. Whether it's a cup, a fucking bong, I'm sure, all these different things. I am so in on this. Jerica, what do you think about Kiln?
It's what I expect from Double Fine. And I'm I was just instantly sold. I'm that's cool. Never seen it before. And this looks really fun. So I know it's not much to say, but I'm just easy sell. That was awesome. Ready to try it.
And it's coming, shit, what did they say? Do you remember, Jake, what they said on the date?
Yeah.
Spring.
So soon, spring. and there's closed like invite only play tests, beta weekend type things that
Yeah.
are starting to transpire. Signups are already open and whatnot.
That's right. Did you guys sign up for the beta?
I'm signed up right
Yeah.
now. That's what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I
as we
couldn't
speak.
remember my Xbox Game Pass.
That's what I'm looking up right
email.
now.
I know, right? And
Yes,
so I
I'm looking
guessed,
up.
so I
That's
hope
what
I'm right.
literally, I'm in the app.
Yeah.
Found it.
But
It's
man,
tough.
yeah,
Mine is ancient and old. I looked
Mine
it up
is
earlier.
too, actually.
Yeah. Mine's a Hotmail.
In that case, it's my Yahoo email address, which is what I guessed because I haven't used that email address in like 18 years. But you know, I'm all in on this, and the Discord certainly shares our hype. In our thread that I mentioned earlier, a lot of call outs for Kiln. Cirrus saying it looks like the perfect Switch 2 game, so it not launching on Switch is kind of a bummer, which I do agree with. This does look like it would be a fun Switch game. Also, Noah, it looks absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Agreed. But then not everybody is super aligned on Kiln. Coalmine's one of the dissenters, saying very cautious about Kiln. Curious to see how much money it would be, but it looked like it has a lot of soul with all MOBA-like games. I hope it doesn't become a meta-filled slog, where if you don't play a certain way or with a certain type of build, that you fall behind quickly, which I think is a good point of like, that's honestly one of the biggest reasons I don't like multiplayer games is the meta and how the meta so often like guides the experience instead of what I want to do. And then it's like, oh, well, I didn't play for 3 days, so now I'm the worst player on the internet. But I don't know. I feel like Double Fine is so good about balancing things that I would expect that won't be a problem with Kiln. Would you agree, Jake?
I think so too.
I don't think it's just balancing. Go ahead.
No, well, I just don't. Is this their first like multiplayer game like this? I don't think they've ever put out anything like this. I could be wrong. I don't. I not
like
I
this. No,
I can't think
I
of
don't
it.
think so. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
So I wonder,
I don't think
like,
so either.
even like the type of audience this might generate too. I just wonder if that sort of makes how you keep up a little different. I just don't see this long roadmap of where this could go for this game. I think it's going to be like a not a small experience, but something that it will be fun to just hop back in here and there. And I don't think it's like obviously like a Destiny or something where I feel like I am missing out if I don't play for a couple months.
Sure.
Like Helldivers, I already feel like I am so far behind and I'm sort of scared to ever jump back in.
Oh yeah.
I don't think this will be like that. And I think that's the perfect experience for Double Fine with something that I can play with y'all once in a while. That's what I hope for. That's what I hope for, you know.
To me, this
maybe like
game
Fall Guys.
is.
Sorry, I keep just jumping in because I keep thinking of something else. And Fall
No,
Guys,
I
maybe
think
that
you're right
sort
on
of.
Fall Guys and like Fusion Frenzy or
Yeah.
like I'm thinking about like Kung Fu Chaos from back in the day. I get more party game vibes than I get MOBA vibes, even though you can see both of them in there. So I don't think it's going to be like a sweaty competitive type of situation with like balancing needs as much as it's going to be like, I think everyone's going to have a pretty even fucking playing field, and it's going to be who the fuck knows is going to win. It depends on where the thing spawned type of thing more than anything else. And the vibe is not going to be, I think it's Double Fine. Double Fine making competitive game is going to make the most positive feeling game when you lose ever. They're just like they're just so like player focused. They just want you to have a good time. It doesn't matter who got the +1 added to their score, but you know it's still cool because you made a little creature freak and he did a funny animation at the end, and you got individual points, and now you can make a purple pot instead of a yellow ashtray. And I think it's just gonna be fucking perfect. Like I'm so excited for this game. I'm gonna be an ashtray main.
Ooh, okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You're a little smoker at heart. You would kill to rip a whole pack right now, wouldn't you?
Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you quit smoking?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I quit smoking a long time ago." Like, you ever think about doing it again? I'm like, "Yeah, every fucking day." Every day.
They are very cool. Here's a question for you guys. Dumpster Boy came into the thread earlier, just trying to, I think, stir the pot. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. He says that this game Scream Fall Guys hype for a month, then crazy player fall off. I worry that Double Fine isn't putting out moneymakers, and with Microsoft's penchant for laying off teams, that if this duds or has extremely low player count after a month, it could be the death nail. I don't think I agree with that, but what do you think, Jerica?
I mean, me neither. I feel like Tim Schafer is basically like Xboxes, even though they got Kojima making something, but like they're little Kojima, and I'm not even mean like small scale. Like I think of Tim Schafer even on like Kojima's like pedestal. I think
Yeah,
they're both really cool, innovative creators. Are always pushing the boundaries, and just Tim Schafer's just a cool guy. And like, if anything ever, and no one should ever do anything wrong to him or do anything bad. Like if Xbox does anything bad with Double Fine, I think they lose a lot of goodwill. Like I
sure.
just don't think that can happen. So like I think this situation is the best it can be, and even if it doesn't hit, I don't think that's the goal with this game. I think they're getting to do it because they get to do it,
Sure. Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's part of it
which is good.
earlier. No, I
Thank
agree. I
God.
feel like part of it is that it seems to me that Double Fine has kind of earned the ability to be weird because they've been
Yeah.
weird successfully. And they've done things like Costume Quest, which still sells, and Psychonauts obviously is a juggernaut. And you know that they're working on Psychonauts 3 in the background because this game not being led by Tim, so this is the second Double Fine game in a row not led by Tim. So what do you think he's leading? Oh, of course, Psychonauts 3, which will come probably in the next 2 years. But Jake, what's your read on this situation?
I think Double Fine, you would have to see 2 of the 3 heads roll to see Double Fine go away in any way, or Tim Schafer be ousted out of his own company or anything like that. Matt Booty, Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer. If there's just one of them, maybe at this point he's not as protected. But I feel like they're like a boutique studio. They do very specific things. When you buy them, you don't say, okay, Double Fine, you're in, go help on Call of Duty. Like they are going to do their weird shit, and they're too much of a figurehead, I think, to have as like a blemish of like, oh, you
Sure.
fuckers have closed this and this and this, but this is the last straw. Like you take my fucking brutal legend devs away from me, you're out. I mean, they've always seemed like a, you know, I don't think Double Fine has ever put out a 10 out of 10 video game, but they're a
Mm,
personality hire. You
yeah.
know, you buy Double Fine to do exactly what Kiln does today. When you look at the Xbox Developer Direct thumbnail, it has like 3 mini thumbnails in it for the games that were announced, and it's like Forza, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation. And then after they reveal Kiln, they fucking add the 4th thumbnail in there, and it's this beautiful like popping visual key art that just like I look at that and I look at like the front page of Xbox Wire and I see IGN and I see the Kiln shit and I'm like, man, that is just like the right vibe for Microsoft. That reminds me of like the Viva Pinata heyday of like the Xbox 360, even the end of like the original Xbox life cycle of Double Fine is here to keep the Xbox brand kicking, no matter if it's a hardware company or a software company or a third party developer. I think they're good, man.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, man, I can't wait for Kiln, and I'm so excited that it's spring. So probably what, like Mayish, we'll probably see
I
this.
guess.
Which yeah, I'm this skyrocketed up, which is so crazy for me. I feel of like a multiplayer game skyrocketing, but Double Fine. I mean, they're one of my favorite studios in gaming. So, and I liked Keeper, but I didn't love Keeper. So I'm like, all right, what's the next Double Fine game that's gonna just really wow me? Which I think it might be Kiln. Also, shout out Kayla in the Discord saying, very excited about Kiln. I think its art style is really cute and has the potential to have some fun gameplay loops. I agree. I agree very, very much.
Easy Dido stream.
Easy
Yeah.
Dido streams, perhaps even.
Fucking the lobby system with the creating the actual clay and being able to watch each other do that shit. I feel
Oh
like
That's
there's
yeah.
so
gonna be
cool.
some like, I think it might make a splash on social media with some of those clips of like, if they can get a couple of like the really big streamers playing that together and goofing around and whatnot, and it's on
Oh
Game
yeah.
Pass. Who knows?
You know,
Whatever.
I
It's a big
Speaking
don't.
splash.
Oh, go ahead,
Speaking
Jerica.
of that, sorry, real quick, because like you mentioned something that made me think of something else I wanted to mention on another show at some point, but this just makes sense now. Thank you. Like lobbies where you can just sort of virtually see people is such a great experience, and I love
Yeah,
that addition.
Man.
I downloaded 2XKO on console, like on PlayStation, because it recently came out, and their whole
Yep.
like casual lobby just made me play the game for another hour. Cause like you all create your own like avatars, and you're like walking around, like going up to like a cabinet, like, what you would see in an arcade. There's also these big TVs, and you and like someone else just might link up and like play, or you can watch someone else play. It is so cool. Like
That sounds cool.
Riot killed with that lobby, and I'm like, that's what that made me think of. It's so fun.
That. Fighting games are so on it with that shit. Like Street Fighter 6 has a really nice lobby system too.
That is
and every
so
time
cool.
I'm in there, I'm like, man, PlayStation Home was just like 6 years too
Yeah.
early. Like I wish, dude, man, I wish that we were all chilling in each other's virtual fucking thing. And I was just talking the other day and I was like, how long until like the Fortnite lobby as we know it will one day die? And we will all just be booted into our little private fucking like Fortnite home that we bought and can customize to our liking. Fortnite housing is coming, and it'll be the virtual world where we all hang out. And I'm Chun-Li, and I show up to Sonya Blade's house to say what up and sit on the couch, and then maybe do a few games, maybe race, maybe a little. It's all leading to that. I love a nice fucking lobby. I love a casual, fun area to
more
exist
lobby
in with homies. Yeah,
somebody get
that's why
some
MMOs
lobby.
are popular.
That's the only reason. I wonder, I don't know exactly what the gameplay loop is going to be of Kiln yet, but I maybe see a drop in drop out invitational in the future that is Kiln based. Might be something.
Nice.
Maybe they'll have a little system where you can get your design as a little blueprint. You can do a little 3D printing, Jerica. Ooh.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That'd be cool. Somebody get Tim Schafer on the line. We're only like
Colin.
1 degree separated from Tim, so it could technically happen if we tried hard enough. All right, next up, the biggin of the show, Fable. We got a deep dive, like 20-something minutes on Fable. We didn't get a date, but we did get a window of autumn 2026. Jerica, what did you think about Fable?
I've just been waiting for this moment my whole life. This is the most hyped I've been for a game in a long time. Like, I guess my last hype moment was like Death Stranding 2. I can't believe that's happening. But this sort of like is really up there for me. And it just didn't seem real for real until today. Yeah. Just being able to see like, I mean, we've all sort of been chatting a little bit. Like we've all went back and played Fable 1. I know Jake's played 1. I didn't get back to 1, but I played 2 and 3 probably the last couple of weeks. Just like, and that game just hit so hard for me in college.
So
and I think a lot of people align with that time frame because like I was just right out of high school, college, early, like freshman in college. And I just remember calling out, not calling out, you don't call out a class, not going to class and just playing so much Fable. And there has not been a game like it since. And I just could only imagine, and we got to see a little bit of that today, like what Fable could look like in 2026 with all the capabilities. Because that is, at the time, like this game had a lot of really cool combat, had so much good, like innovative combat, ways to use different spells, fight, and then just everything else that makes Fable, the housing, making money, like the list goes on. And it was just so fucking cool. And, we're going to get into it today, but what I saw today, like just solidified that I feel really good about this game now.
Lit me up. Like I was again watching Jake's live stream and the amount of times that we were like thinking the exact same thing of like, oh, these guys know what the fuck they're doing. Like when they would go through, they would talk about things like the villagers and interacting with them to like with your morality and all these things. Like, yes, that is Fable. Like, obviously Fable is like this big fantasy RPG situation, but Fable at its core for me is the like fuck around in this world full of whimsy and charm. And that it seems like that's exactly what they're doing. And they said so many right things today. So many right things, in fact, that I'm maybe like kind of actually low-key worried in a way that like, is this real? Like, is this... They've been cooking on this game for quite some time, but like hearing that every single NPC has their own life and speaks fully, I'm like... man, I am concerned, but I don't want to be because this game looks like it's going to be generational, Jake.
Oh my god, dude. This fucking healed me. The new Fable gameplay healed me. This is all I needed going into 2026. I've got the energy to last until at least 2027. Yeah. I am over the moon at what I saw. I am being overpromised to about a Fable in 2026. Like, that is all I've ever wanted. Like, show me things that seem impossible on this scale and with this fidelity. It has every system that I was really excited about returning. It has all of the social stuff. It's got the weird whimsy. It has the property management sim. It has the combat. It has the it is the total package of what I want a weird American RPG to be. Like,
Sure.
it is a really, I guess, European,
Yeah,
but
being made in limited in Spa,
Still,
England, but sure.
correct. There is something about these RPGs that is so unique and so special, and it is the closer that we got to this reveal, the more nervous that I got because of how easy this would be to fuck up. Oh, I was like, I just don't want this to feel like some of that gameplay. Sometimes when you look at like the last piece of footage that they put out, it was like a 45-second thing when they delayed the game in early 2025, and it just kind of looks like The Witcher, and I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want this to like lose its soul. Like, I know The Witcher's a hot ticket, but that world to me is a little bland. You know, it just kind of feels like regular Fantasyland. It could be one of many worlds. Fables is just, it has to scream Fable, and this screams Fable from top to fucking bottom. I am over the moon at what I saw. This is my most anticipated game. Fable 1 is in my top 10 games of all time. Fable 2 has to be in my top 30 games of all time. My replay was insane just so recently. We'll talk all about it. But this is video game like RPG perfection, and I hope that everyone's favorite forgotten game gets brought back in this way in the future,
Yeah.
because this is a wild feeling right now.
I
I
agree.
think truly, like, speaking to my confidence level, what solidified it during this direct was the way they were talking about they hired and recruited for this project. I mean, I'm surely they started working on this like 10 years ago. Like, I think this has been in development for 10 years. They mentioned like Forza from like 10 years ago, but they like started on this pretty soon. I'm The fact that they
You're
went so hard on like how they're hiring and what kind of skill sets, like, these weren't typical developers that had been on this team forever. Like, they went and like recruited to make this game.
Yeah.
And I just think like getting the right people to work on this game, you have the blueprints to make the best, like you have the DNA of one of the best games ever. Now that we have the technology, like, let's make it open world. And that's what we got to see today. And that's where I was like,
Yeah.
stamp of approval. Like, on my gut, this is gonna be a 95 or higher. Like, that is my
I mean, that with what they showed today,
feel
it looks
good
like it
about it,
can
yeah.
be. Yeah. And that's why then I start to pump the brakes, because it's like, this is the first time that I can think of. Because like, I remember when we first saw South of Midnight, I was like, oh, this looks amazing. But we're not seeing a touch of gameplay at all at the beginning. It's like, oh, but just like aesthetically very different. We've never seen anything like that, especially from Xbox. And then we saw the gameplay. It's like, oh, okay, this looks cool, but I don't, no longer am I feeling like this could be so different that it's like an all-timer type thing. And then, fast forward releases, it's not. But I feel like this is the first time that I can think of, and maybe I'm forgetting something, but of Xbox showing a game where I see it and it's like capacity, and I think that could be game of the year. It could be all-timer material. Like, I just don't think Xbox has had a game like this in so long, to where I then convince myself, I don't know that I believe that it can be true. I don't know. I'm like torn on this, like, will it, won't it type thing.
I just trust
The scary part
Playground Games, though.
is
Like,
the last time
truly.
I kind of felt that way, it was fake, and it was fucking Perfect Dark 3 years ago. And
Sure.
But
like
even the gameplay from
looked like
that
it was going to
wasn't.
be like,
I
I think it was. It was just kind of fake. Like,
It was
what
like
they
a
were
vertical
showing
slice of
felt
like.
generational,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Without a
Yeah,
doubt. You were
this
right,
felt
Jerica,
different.
on time frame. It was 2016, I think. They had an interview with IGN today where whoever's heading up the development on this project was talking about they finished up work at Playground Games on Forza Horizon 3 in 2016, and then they started work on Fable. So it's like,
Wow.
I don't know if that was like pre-production or just planning phases or whatever, but that's 10 years ago. And I also feel like I want to follow up on something that Jerica said just a minute or two ago. I was so excited. I was like, man, I would love to see Fable come out in like May or June. And now I look at it and I'm like, 2026 is fine. You make it in November. I'm happy. Feel free to take another year. I don't know. I don't want it to come out and be broken. I feel like Xbox needs this way more than Fable fans need this in a lot of ways, but I think it's okay if this game gets pushed or delayed after seeing the scope. But here's the other thing is that I don't want a 9.5 or a 10 out of my Fable. In a lot of ways, Fable is perfect because of its imperfections. Like the size and scope of Fable 1 and Fable 2 make them very, very special games to me. Like the fact that you can get through those games in a reasonable amount of time. The jank has a charm to it. The floatiness of the combat and the controls, some of the ease in some of those areas. It is a breezy, lighthearted RPG that does so much that I can't expect it to do everything perfectly. But because of the stuff that it does well, I'm willing to overlook those other things. And just looking at the game today, like there were times where I was so charmed, so smitten with what was happening, but like the NPC's mouth wasn't even fucking moving for the voice lines. And I know that's one of the first things, that's one of the last things that you end up doing when you're like, mixing and mastering the game and whatnot. But like a little jank is okay, and coming up a little short on your promises is okay. Like if you're trying to mimic the press cycle of Fable 1, you're doing perfectly right now. Like you have shown something that seems too good to be true and looks unfucking believable and a little bit janky. All I want is my 8.5, maybe 9 for my Fable.
I want it to be the game of the year. Like I want the opposite. I mean, granted, even when I replayed it, are we sure that's jank from, is that actual jank or is that 2008 jank? That's normal. That was normal for games at the time.
No,
Are we considering
it was fucked up around that time.
Well,
I mean,
here's also
I don't think so.
Also, we give Game of the Year to 8s all the time.
Do it. I know, but here's my okay. Finally, I do have something bad to say. Here's my only negative thing. I don't know if it's gonna run well, and I feel like we're gonna start running into this issue for a lot of games. Okay, just because I don't think we're gonna get a new console for a couple more years. I feel like everything's about to get pushed with the Rams fiasco.
For sure. Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, but even during the stream, just seeing, I know there's obviously things they're going to do to help performance, but like it was struggling. Like I could see like some stuttering just from this presentation. And I'm like, whoo, I don't even know if the PlayStation Pro, how it will handle this game. So that's the only drawback. So that might be where we get our jank is like, are we going to be locked to 30 FPS for this, which I don't
probably.
like.
Almost certainly will be locked to 30 FPS. I mean, Noah just said in the chat, what we saw today was 30.
That'll be your jank. That will feel janky with combat that wants to be really fast and smooth. Because I was impressed by the combat that we saw in here today. Like, I feel like we saw some parrying. I feel like we saw some very, like, I feel like when I've been playing Fable the last few days, like, it's just like, I'm just auto targeting.
Yeah, the combat is not what brings you into Fable.
I feel the combat that I saw today, though, was a little bit more specific to where you were directing your hits.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a little bit more fine-tuned with combat. I just know if I'm locked to 30 FPS, that's not gonna feel good and not look good.
Yeah.
So
no,
that's my
fair.
only. That will feel janky, probably.
Patty's lock of 2026, Jake. Fable's not coming in 2026. There's no way. At the absolute earliest, this game
it'd be out.
It's
not going to be delayed.
We'll put a pin in that for our video game bets episode. There's absolutely no way this game comes out in 2026. At the absolute earliest, it's
got to come out before Grand Theft Auto. I disagree. It's got to come out before Grand Theft Auto.
I think it will still come out before Grand Theft Auto because Grand Theft Auto also not coming out in 2026.
I think Grand Theft Auto comes out this year. I'll say
we have a couple bets we can make. We have a couple bets we can make.
I've changed my tune with that one.
Yeah, I don't see this, and because here's the thing also, which we should save half of this conversation, Jerica, but the part that we can have now is you don't release Fable until it's ready to run. And if that means you have to push it to summer of 2027, you fucking push it to summer of 2027 because this game, it's been made for 10 years.
What does it need to run? What do you
I mean,
think it's going to need to run? Are we waiting for a new console, or are we just
I
waiting
mean, I don't
for
know. Just
working on it?
being
We can't wait. We're
tightened
not going to
up,
wait for
I
a new
guess.
console.
I don't know.
Not gonna
Certainly
happen.
not a new console, because no, that'll be 2030.
So that's not going to help
But
it.
That'll be fucking never, dude.
yeah, no, I don't know.
For Xbox, yeah.
I wonder if in the time it takes to release Fable, if Xbox finally comes to the decision that not everything is releasing on the Series S, because I just don't know how this game could run on it based
Absolutely.
on what
I
we're
don't
seeing.
think it will.
Like, if Baldur's Gate 3 couldn't for like months, how is this
It
thing
could
going
run
to
the way
run
that
on
we
the
saw it
Series S?
today on the Xbox
Unless we
Series
saw,
S.
unless
Yeah,
there's
maybe.
like just a lower res, like super dialed back version, maybe that could run on a Switch. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't think so. But I agree.
Kanan
gonna do
asked
it.
me a question earlier that I thought was interesting, and it pertains to Fable, and it pertains to Marathon, a game that has nothing to do with today, but I do think the question is interesting. Do we think it's more likely that Fable is a 7 or Marathon is an 8? Jake?
It's more likely that Marathon is an 8.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Marathon's going to be good.
What about you, Jerica?
7. I don't
Like
feel
that Fable
great
is a
about it.
7?
No, Marathon. I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. I was
Sure, I
vaguely
think
listening, but I thought I got
sure.
it.
Hey, you owned it. The question was, yeah, do you think it's more likely that Fable is good? Sorry, do you think it's more likely that Marathon's great or that Fable is just like fine? I guess is another way
Fable's
to
gonna
ask
be
the
great.
question.
I'm
Yeah.
already like I have not had like listen. Is it intuition? Am I a psychic? My gut is rarely wrong about a lot of stuff. I think it's an intuition. I don't know what it is. We'll finally find out. But I think Fable comes out this year and it's good.
Okay.
Will it run
Depending-
great? I don't know. Will it hurt it a little bit? Yes. That's my only concern. But as far as being a great video game, like it's gonna kill. It's gonna be
We'll
great.
see. I guess we'll see.
Someone record this. Remind me. I won't forget, but I might.
We'll both forget for sure. Any other thoughts on the Fable reveal today before we start talking about the franchise as a whole?
I don't know. I am
Character
so
creator.
fucking
What the
happy,
fuck?
man.
That's cool.
Yeah, character creator's good.
We've never been able to do that. That's the
let's do
biggest
fucking
thing.
15 more on New Fable. The chicken chaser fucking suit. We got the goddamn life-sized fire-breathing chicken that kicks back. Unbelievable. The music throughout the entire thing has that perfect little fucking thing of whimsy. I'm going back to all of the locales that I like. Fairfax Castle is there inside Bowerstone. The guild looks fucking massive. Oh, this game's going to be so sick.
Yeah. It's certainly skyrocketed for me as like one of my most anticipated games, if not. I don't think it's my most anticipated game, but it's like top 3 for sure. Because I was so impressed with today. And yeah, earlier Noah was saying he just hopes that he enjoys it. I mean, of course, like that's all I want from this game too. I just worry that they're overpromising, and we'll see what happens. Noah says, if I can't see my character get his pork slobbed by a local hag in 2026, Fable is letting me down. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So I've not really talked to either of you about this at all yet, but I am currently in January of 2026, absolutely fucking obsessed with Fable 3 right now. I can't put this thing fucking down. I'm like 7 hours in probably. I had started Fable 1 a couple weeks ago, specifically on my Steam Deck, because Jake, you had been streaming it. And I was like, I've been wanting to replay Fable for so long. And then I had stopped myself multiple times because I was like, there's content here. I just don't know what. Is it a book club type thing? Is it a stream? I don't know what it is, but I just kept not doing it. And then Jake streams it and was like, ooh, okay. You know what? I just want to play this game now. And I was playing 1, and it's something that didn't click for me. It's that I was just yearning for something bigger. And then Jerica was like, I dabble with 2 and now I'm in 3 and I'm really enjoying playing 3 again. I was like, you know what? Let's just jump into 3. And Virumdex in the chat saying Fable 3 is so underrated. So far, I am completely aligned. I remember being lower on Fable 3 than most people. And a lot of people were low on Fable 3. But I have not had anything less than a fantastic fucking time playing Fable 3. I can't put this thing down. And that's our show, folks.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know the pause was. I thought you were about to do something else, and I didn't know what it
No, you're
was.
fair. No, it's
I
fine.
thought it was
I'm
going to
just
be a
kidding.
surprise.
Coal Mines
Very
asks
good.
if I
All
want to
right.
play a
I feel
Fable,
like
I
I've
can
been
just jump
talking a
into
lot,
3,
so I was
right?
just trying to give Jake an opportunity because I felt like
We
he
never
wanted
give
to
Jake
say
an
something.
opportunity.
I'm just trying to be
Damn
polite
it.
here.
Coal Mines asks if I want to play a Fable, I can just jump into 3, right? You can. They like reference other
Absolutely.
stuff in the world, but you can definitely just jump into 3
Because they're
for
like
sure.
generations, 100 years have passed, and yeah, doesn't matter.
I mean,
But I just jumped right into 3. Let's roll the tape back and start with 1, Jake.
yeah, I mean, low-key, Fable 1 Anniversary Edition is the newest Fable game that came out. Whereas like the Xbox 360 remaster of Fable 1 came out after Fable 2 and 3 on that hardware. So like technically if you want the most like modernized visually, it's a toss up between probably 3 and 1, but either way, those games have more to do with each other than you would think. Especially, I just played through all of Fable 1 and its DLC and all of Fable 2 and its DLC. And its DLC was very interesting because I don't think I had ever played one of the packs, the See the Future DLC, which is a direct tie-in to Fable 3, which was very interesting. We can talk about that if we get that deep into the weeds here. But Fable 1 holds up in such a crazy way, and my experience with both of these playthroughs was very novel this time around on stream because I know these games pretty well. I've probably beat Fable 6 times in my life, maybe Fable 2 3 times in my life, and one of the things about me is that I always play my fucking video games on like the golden boy path. I want to fucking save. I want to save the fucking people and fight for good and kiss the gal and the whole 9 yards,
Homophobic.
But my gaming habits in the past like 3 years since streaming, I have been more inclined to like, let's make a freak or let's play as a babe and fucking we can do the different type of route or play the morally gray character. I decided, let me go through and have an experience that I've never had on Fable before and play this game on evil mode. So
Ooh, yeah.
my
Nice.
plan on Fable 1 was I am going to be the character. You can only be a boy in Fable 1. You play as like a character that you don't customize whatsoever either. And basically I decided I was going to be fat as fuck because you can eat unlimited food in that game. I'm going to be strength only, so I'm just fucking swinging my sword strong as hell. And I'm going to be the most evil, degenerate, crass person on planet Earth. And it gave me such a different experience with Fable, and it was so pleasing to play a game that had different outcomes based on your alignment, where I was able to see and enjoy things and cutscenes and areas and missions in that game that I had never seen before. The replay value can't be understated.
Oh yeah.
Really, really fun time in Fable. And again, I talked about this earlier, but like the size and scope of Fable 1 is what makes it so special to me. Like I love being able to explore every nook and cranny of that game without having to put in 100+ hours. Like I'm pretty sure you can 100% that game in like 40 hours or something like that. I didn't come close to doing that. I scraped the surface, but just that opportunity existing there and being as accessible as it is very, very sweet. I love that fucking game.
Me too. I feel like for me, and Mossy Adventures First Time Chatter has a good question that we'll answer in just a second. But I feel like for me, like Jerica and I have talked a lot about how much like when we were younger, Mass Effect, we would just play it over and over, and we played that game so many times, good, evil, uh,
Yeah.
everything in between. Fable was like the first one of that for me, where
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I've played Fable 1 and 2, but I played them both at least 3 or 4 times each, doing good, bad, and everything in between. And then once Mass Effect came out and I started really getting into Mass Effect is when I started to kind of fall off of Fable. I did play Fable 3. I don't remember if I ever finished Fable 3, but that was when I'm getting a little older and the stories are just a lot more kind of in depth. I was like, oh, this is now I want to do the good and the bad of that too. Because yeah, when I was a kid, it was Fable and it was KOTOR. Those were the two games. It was like, I want to play with morality and just replay these games over and over. But Mossy Adventures asks, what's Fable in a short breakdown? I'm interested in what each of us says here, but for me, I feel like I would describe Fable as like your picturesque storybook fantasy tale as a video game, but not for children, but not for adults either. But like it's just not a kiddie version of this, but it's very like whimsy forward. It's very fantastic, but it's just like a fun RPG in this like medieval-ish type world, where like at its core, morality is like the compass of this game. It's everything is about either good or bad. Jerica, how would you describe Fable?
Fable is an RPG where your choices matter, but not in a serious way, not a world ending way, but like in a way that the town and the people care about how often you're burping
Yeah, sure. Yes.
or how you kick that chicken. But you are sort of in control of the way, you know, in terms of like what draws me to Mass Effect, you are in control of, yeah, are you playing this evil? Do you want to be an evil hero? Do you want to be a heroic save the day hero? And just combined with like British humor, I think that's just what the charm is, like truly. And you just don't have a lot of third person RPGs
Yeah.
that lean into like you seeing your character do cool shit. And I feel like in the world of like all the Skyrims, which I know there's sometimes like I think there's a third person mode now, but it wasn't developed and made for that. I think Fable's special because you have third person for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Also, something that you said also I think is very important, that like it doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's like at its core, it is like a humorous game. And I feel like it was one of the first like, let's make an RPG but funny. But Jake, how would you describe Fable?
I mean, you guys pretty much nailed it, but it's like offensively European, crass, funny. Like it's crass, it's funny, it's fantastical. It's a fairy tale, but it's like mischievous. There is like
Yeah.
the ability to be like a nefarious person in this game in a way that is can be mean spirited, but can also you can just kind of be a fucking asshole in this
You can
game
be a
in a very
landlord.
fun way. Yeah, you can be a slumlord. It is just a game that offers you the world, but the world is small in scope, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I also
That
feel
brought
like
up a question
yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
later. Or do I just
Okay.
ask it?
Just
Do you
ask it.
think it's going to hurt? Do you think it's going to hurt the game? Because I'm excited that it's going to be super open world, new Fable, right? That seems to be the big selling point. Like
Yeah,
finally,
for
you can
sure.
go where you want. You can ride a horse, which I don't know if I love that or not, but we'll see. Do you think that hurts it because of what you said, Jake? Like, you know, it's a smaller experience. It's not that it wasn't like super linear, but you had a path to go. You couldn't get lost in any of the Fable games. Do you think it might hurt it, like being more open, like The Witcher? I don't know.
I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be smaller than The Witcher. I think it's going to be a dense open world because Fable 1 and 2 are almost like the maps are all interconnected. You just have to load from like zone to zone. There's a couple like towards the end of both of those stories, the whole world is connected, and then they're just like, hey, just take the teleporter to the island. And it's like, okay, we stop connecting these things.
Okay.
But for the most part, I think we're going to have a very dense open world. I think it's going to be small, it's going to be compact, it's going to be lean, and I think that there will be an emphasis on meaningful exploration over like very wide, expansive. Like I don't think we're going to be fucking visiting shrines and climbing mountains in
Please
this
God,
world too
no.
much. You know, I think this is going to be very much like Fable 2's marketing was always so interesting to me because they leaned so heavily on the pet system, the dog in Fable, which you have a dog in Fable 3 as well, right?
You do.
Yeah.
Fable 2, the very
And
first
I
video game with the
got a little
power
annoyed with the
of
dog.
love. Do you remember that with
That's
Peter
right.
Molyneux?
Oh
Jesus.
yeah. Dude, there's a fucking Fable 2 E3 demo from like 2006, 5, and it is insane. The things that he tries to highlight during the fucking Fable 2 demo is so crazy because he has a NPC. Oh no, his friend joins his multiplayer game, and they talk about how there's like a love system. So at first he starts to like rizz up the fucking barmaid inside of like your tavern. Then eventually he starts to fucking hit on your wife, and then you find out that like your wife can leave you for your friend in fucking Fable is like the craziest thing to show at the showcase ever.
Jesus.
That's an insane thing to put in your video game, much less fucking highlight. But Fable 2's entire like not marketing, but a lot of like leading up to it, they were really focusing on like, it's so cool to have your dog companion. The dog will show you where to go. The dog will show you where hidden treasure is, where you can fucking dig pieces up. And if at any point you're lost, just spin around, because there's literally a golden fucking trail of where to run all the time. And it never took away from the game. I was like, I can follow that. Here's one of the worst things in video games. This is a fucking tangent again, but I fucking hate when my goal is to go north. I know that's where to go. And then there's a path that diverges left or right. And I want to go find the hidden chest, not continue the story. But I don't know which way is the critical path and which way is the optional path. And I go, okay, well, fuck it. I'll just try left. And I go to left and it fucking hits me with the cutscene. And I'm like, fuck, the fucking treasure chest was on the right. And now I have to either go back or I missed it, or so fucking frustrating. I kind of love always just knowing like, hey, you can go to the right if you want to, but left is where you're supposed to go. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to do that yet. I want to go fucking open that treasure chest.
I agree.
Worst feeling.
And I know. Squanky says Fable used to rely on having you run back and forth a lot, and getting away from that could be nice. And so, yeah, to bring that into your question, Jerica, I feel like the game, it can't be too big. It will be bigger, I'm sure, than Fable has ever been. But I feel like a core tenet of Fable, and it seems like from what we saw today, they understand the core tenets of Fable. But I feel like a core tenet of Fable is by hour 10-ish, you know the world now. Like, you've gone back and forth so many times that, oh, when they say go to the dweller camp, I know exactly how to get to the dweller camp. I could just press pause, go to the board, and fast travel there. Or I can run there in 5 minutes because I know the path now, and I can talk to a few townspeople on the way, do a little whistle, do a little handshake, do a little dance with them to get their relationship up above neutral. I'll get a little quest from them to become good friends. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll do the hero pose for a little bit. Or if I'm Jake, I'm belching for them. I'm doing the naughty things. But yeah, I just feel like that it can't be too big, or else it isn't Fable, in my opinion.
But there's a horse. Why do you have a horse? What's big enough to justify a horse? That question's loaded.
That's a loaded
That horse
question.
exists so that they can fucking that horse isn't for movement. That's horse for fucking buying horse armor. You know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah.
That's
okay.
That's gonna be a fucking blue spectral steed that I spent $5 on in my Fable. What do you think of that?
Do we replace the dog with the horse? Is the horse gonna help us find treasure?
The horse fucking barks and digs and
or he just whinnies.
I'm quite interested.
Just one of those things.
Yeah. That was good.
Noah, thank you. Noah says, what out-of-pocket thing do you think Molyneux says about the new Fable in his first media interview after its release? Will he come off like a scorned lover? He's going to address it for sure. And it'll probably come across as like, it's not Fable if I'm not making it, is my guess.
Go play Albion this fucking July.
Between the three games, oh, I know you are. Between the three games, do y'all have like a go-to favorite, like knee-jerk, this is my favorite of the Fable games?
I think it's 2. And it's just really because of when I played it, and it was my first Fable game. I didn't play the first one when it came out. I went back and played.
Okay.
But I'm just so connected to that experience, the music, the characters, just playing that game and not knowing. I only played it because one of my friends had it, and they're just something else came out the same day that I was playing. I'm eager to know like what came out the same day Fable 2 did, but I got that game and my friend had the other game. And I just remember like watching them play, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try a little bit. And I just had no idea what Fable was, and I started playing. I was like, holy shit, this is hilarious. I love this game. And I think just for that reason alone, like I have to pick Fable 2.
I remember being so enamored with the box art for all the Fable games, but especially Fable 2. I remember liking Fable 2's box art.
Yeah,
it was good. It's good.
Google tells me, Jerica,
I'm so
that
scared.
October 21st, 2008 also saw Midnight Club Los Angeles,
Wasn't
and
that?
Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Now, it could have just been that week. It might not have been the exact release date, but that's what
Yeah.
it's telling me is October 21st, sharing with Fable 2.
Man, I wonder what it was. I'll do some searching. It was something else. I just don't remember because I got obsessed with Fable instead.
Apparently, did you have a PS3 or a 360?
We had both.
BioShock came out on the PS3 specifically. It had already been on the Xbox.
It
Also, Far Cry 2.
Far Cry 2 might have been. I think it could have been.
Yeah.
Yes, because I did play Far Cry 2. So
could it have been a game on your Nintendo DS? Because Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue also released.
That's it. Solved.
Had to be that. Had to be that. Well, actually, aren't you a Spyro sicko? And then we'll stop this little segment. Spyro Dawn of the Dragon came out that day.
Wow.
Could it have been that?
I'll know it when I hear it.
Which one's Dawn of the fucking Dragon? Like a PS3 one?
PS2, PS3, Wii, Xbox 360, DS.
Was it October? What year was it again?
2008.
2008. Okay.
Oh, you know what? It probably that's a Windows release. So I was gonna say Dead Space came out the day before, but that's just on Windows. It had already been.
Let me just see what came out in October because I might have not. It was. We both picked up something new, so maybe it just didn't come out that day.
Saints Row 2 was the week before.
No.
Oh, and Dead Space was the week before as well. It just came out a week later on. I just want to solve this puzzle of what's the game.
I know. I don't want to. I'm looking through. If y'all wanted to keep talking, was it? It might have been. Was it Gears of War 2? Did that come out around the same time?
Let's see.
Because I played all of those, so it might have been that.
I don't see Gears of War in this list. Man, what a year 2008 was. Can I just say?
Shit, yeah. Little
Banger.
Big Planet.
LBP.
Gears of War 2 came out November 7th. So a week after, or 2 weeks after Fable 2.
Because that could have been it.
Fallout 3 came out a week later. What a fucking run.
Fuck me, man. Maybe
Fall of 2008 had. Oh my God.
It could have been any of those. But I know it's definitely either Fallout then or Gears of War 2.
October 2008 was better than some full years of gaming. Correct, Squanky Joinkers.
Yeah.
We also had the first release of Little Big Planet. And I know Jake Twitchen was playing Motorstorm Pacific Rift.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Fuck. Or is this about to be an October 2008 podcast?
There's probably some other freako shit that you guys aren't even mentioning. That
I know.
Madagascar from October 2008.
I played a lot of weird games. So, I mean, those Gears of War and Fallout are the only two that sort of make sense for me at that time. But who knows?
For this isn't a Fallout podcast, but God, the stranglehold that Fallout had in my life, at school, and everyone was just, all we wanted to do was talk about Fallout in the Capital Wasteland. It was so fucking cool. Noah has brought out his October 08 Game Informer.
Oh, shit. Let's go.
And Estiman saying, damn, I know I wasn't studying in high school in 2008. No, how could you?
No.
There were too many games to play.
I definitely was struggling that year.
Golly. Jake, Fable, what else? What else is on your mind about this franchise?
I think I already went on a record that Fable 1 is my favorite. I love Fable 2 so much. I love Fable 2 even more now on a replay through in 2026 than I did before. I didn't have as fond of memories as I think I should have even. Game really holds up pretty well. But Fable 1, I was just thinking about how many fucking actual foundational vocal stems I have that come from fucking Fable 1. Yeah. Your health is low. Or you can use the fart expression. There's
sure.
Oh shit! It could have been Spore. Oh my God.
Oh, dude,
I've heard you talk about Spore before and how obsessed you were at the beginning of Spore. So that.
Sorry.
Sorry. I think it was Spore.
I interrupted, but I was just like, holy shit! I think it might have been Spore.
That's so funny.
I'm trying to think of other crazy fucking lines from. Oh yeah, filthy hubs. You really hate hubs, don't you? I fucking love how much Whisper hates Hobbs and me, actually. Wake up, lazy bones. And then my favorite NPC in all of gaming. If you guys have ever watched my stream, I love fucking yelling this, but like the first dude that you meet in Fable 1, he is the like salesman in the center of town, and I have no idea why. I'm pretty sure it's the same fucking voice actor as the dude who sells the magic box in Fable 2 at the very beginning. They have the same guy come back and voice someone completely different. It's like Mugo or something like that. But in the first game, it's the guy who sells you fucking chocolates for your sister. But he has this crazy, like, he goes, "We go pieces. And for your sweet, for your sister. We go pieces." It's unbelievable. It's the craziest line read I've ever heard in my life. It's my favorite thing in the fucking world.
You did just remind me. I was looking at this last night. I was like, I have to bring this up on the podcast. And then I want to bring up the 2008 Game Informer cover that, or calendar that Noah sent me. But listen to the voice cast of Fable 3 specifically. John Cleese, a legend. Michael Fassbender, Stephen Fry, Nicholas Hoult, Sir Ben Kingsley, Simon Pegg, Bernard Hill, which you might not know by name, but he's King Theoden in the Lord of the Rings, leader of the Rohirrim. Zoe Wanamaker, who is another name, like if you look her up, you're going to recognize her, but you might not know her by name. But just those like first, and Naomi Harris, almost forgot. This cast is unbelievable for a video game in 2010.
European actors.
Right. The one that really caught my attention was Michael Fassbender. It was like, homie was doing video games in 2010, because that would have been right after that was like when his career was first taking off, because he was just been in 300. But what a fucking cast in Fable 3.
Holy fuck. Oh,
right,
was just chicken. I didn't say Chicken Chaser is one of my fucking bonus stims.
Yeah.
Of course.
What's the one about
changing my name to Pie Master was a fucking legendary thing in this Fable playthrough, though. Everybody be going like, "Oh, it's Pie Master." It's so fucking funny.
And there's something about
like
a lemon
wolfing down like 57 fucking pies every single time I can get my hands on any, just like smashing the button. They're squelching.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Subtitles read squelching. All right, let me pull up. Let's close that out for a second and open up this Game Informer fucking calendar. Look at this shit. We've got Midnight Club.
Holy
I know, right?
Bill
Dragon
Murray.
Age here, right? Is that, or she looks like a character from Dragon Age. I don't know if she is actually the character from Dragon Age. I guess Blizzard, so not Dragon Age. But yeah, Bill Murray, what the fuck's he doing in a Game Informer?
This is the best image they could get for BlizzCon.
Apparently.
Nondescript elf shorty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Saints Row 2, Max Payne.
That.
Wait a second. Was the first Max Payne game in 2008?
The year of the fucking 2008 BlizzCon controversy?
Oh, what? What about 2008 BlizzCon?
When was BlizzCon not doing good things up in fucking hotel rooms?
Oh shit! I don't know if I remember that.
It didn't come to light until like 2019 or something like that.
Yeah,
but I went. I didn't.
The old guard of Blizzard was out.
Missed that. Good.
Yeah.
Tack Mojo Mistake. What a game. High School Musical 3 senior year on the 360 Wii, PS2, and DS. Fuck. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is
2013.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like I've always thought that Fable 2 was my favorite, but I'm having such a good time with 3 right now. But I'll tell you this, it has inspired me. I know I'm running out of time because very, very soon we get Resident Evil Requiem, and then the new releases start just fucking churning and burning. But I'm like, man, I want to try to then go back and do Fable 1 and 2, because I got maybe an hour or two into the Fable 1 replay before I pivoted to, so I could just pick that back up. But now I want to get into Fable 2 and 3 and like, I don't know that I ever did all the DLC. So hearing you say you did all the DLC for both, I'm like, shit, I want to do the DLC for both. I don't want to be the only one that didn't do
Fable
the DLC for
3 is
both.
like widely regarded as like the worst Fable by like a landslide.
I know,
I think.
But
Of
I'm
the
like,
main
It's still not even bad. It's still not bad.
No, not bad at all.
It's
got the
just
fucking hand-holding mechanic. Genius.
Exactly.
I also feel like I was talking about this the other night at dinner with somebody actually, that I feel like Fable 3, I wonder how many people hold that opinion only from playing it when it first came out. And then have just like, oh, everybody says this, so I say this too. And how many people, because do you remember when the game very first came out? Because, walkthroughs weren't like the biggest thing. They existed, obviously, whether they were physical or on like game packs or whatever. But I remember at the time, there was this like pseudo controversy around
Yes, dude.
the end of the game and like how basically everybody failed the end of the game because people didn't realize that time would only move forward on the golden path. And so either you had to do like the bad ending where you let like Moneybags, whatever his name is, like fund your war and then everybody hates you, or you don't, but
Yeah.
then you don't build up enough money and renown to win. And
So
people thought like those were the only two options, but you could just, if you just did more side shit, you would have won. But yeah, do you remember
help
this,
me with the
Jake?
framing, because the controversy wasn't that. It was that the timeline that it auto jumps you gets funky at the end.
That's
And
right.
it kind of baits and switches you, and that was the big thing, was like people just started spoiling. They were like, don't go past day 267. Like there was like a thing,
That's
I
right.
forget what the framing is, but they give you like 3 years to do something or something like that, right? Or a year.
Yeah,
Do you guys remember?
Something like that.
I
You have to like raise
vaguely
enough
remember. Yeah,
money and
yeah.
And you
renown
do
and
it, and it's like
people.
week 1, week 2, day 35, day 46, and it kind of auto just progresses you. And then I remember there's some big looming threat, and you have this concrete date in your head of like, I have a year to complete this. And then it jumps the gun, and they're like, the storm is here. This is it. What do you want to do? And I'm like, I got fucking $35 in my pocket, and I'm in the middle of a side quest. What do you fucking mean?
That's right.
So
That's
I
exactly what
remember
it
that
was.
being like widely spread, is like, don't progress past day 237. Like they didn't do a good job of explaining their point of no return, and it fucked up a lot of people's like experience with the game.
I'm
That's
curious
exactly what it was. You're right.
if there's an achievement to figure out what I did, because I don't remember being disappointed with the ending. Obviously, I haven't played in years. I didn't have a horrible memory, so I definitely don't remember this. I remember, now that you're talking about it, I do remember like how you had time to spare to do shit and not suck, but I don't remember specifics. So I'm looking
Yeah.
back at like my achievement list for Fable 3 real quick to see what I can
Yeah. I mean,
find.
I've learned recently, like I was streaming Resident Evil 2 the other night, and I was talking with Blaster Goblin in the chat about Ada Wong, which we won't go down that whole rabbit hole of the conversation we had, but he said things about Resident Evil 6. I'm like, because I played that game 15, 16 years ago now, I was like, I just don't remember all of these little like huge story plot beats. So I certainly don't remember about Fable 3 because that was the same time period. But I remember then these games being so like big at the time and important at the time, of like feeling like these endings were so massive. And then now I've like, I couldn't even tell you. I remember people being so pissed about the ending of Mass Effect 3, but I don't even remember the three choices. I just remember that there were three choices. Like I couldn't
That
tell
does
you what any
that
of them
is
are
with me.
anymore.
Yeah, that's the only one because I just did it so often and thought about it for like months after, thinking, "Wow, this is where it ends."
Sure.
Okay.
Noah says that Game Informer gave Fable 3 a 9 out of 10, saying, quote, "This is the
Damn.
most realized version of Albion yet."
All right.
Well, wait till they
They're
play the
fucking
new
right.
Fable.
There we go.
Will they
True.
say the same thing? I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder. Well, I feel like there's probably still so much more we could talk about, but go play Fable, people.
Phew. And you guys ever play Fable Legends or Fable Heroes or Fable
No.
tabletop games? There's like 3 Fable spin-offs, 1 canceled.
Was it the
Yeah.
canceled one? The one that was like a dungeon
I
crawler?
believe so, like a beat 'em up type of thing. Yeah. And then there's also the Fable the Journey for Connect,
Yeah,
which
the
I want to
Kinect
play
game.
bad. I'll play that. I'm gonna play that. That's my fucking oath to my chat, is that I will play that Fable game to completion before the new Fable comes out. Full fucking, I'm gonna be casting spells with my hands and shit.
You're going to play it to completion.
I play everything to completion.
Oh, my.
Oh.
I'll fly up to Maine and play Fable Journey with you.
I love that. Come on over.
I did
I'll
marry
sleep in
another
Swanky's bed.
player. I don't remember doing
Oh,
that.
can I marrying? I'm going to tell you guys just a fucking scenario that happened in my Fable 2 game.
Let's go.
Please
So
do.
I married my first husband and then immediately became fascinated with the idea of forcing him into group sex. So again, I was playing as a woman, which is important to the plot of the story. So I grabbed him, and then, well, he was in like follow mode. You have to like proposition. Like sometimes your husband can proposition, but you can proposition anybody if you have a good enough relationship. You'd be like, you want to come back to my place? And they'll like start to follow you until you go to your bed, at which point you can choose protected or unprotected sex. So there was this whole like back and forth of trying to get both mine and my husband and the random person all lined up so that they would both follow me to the bed. And every time the husband would get fucking cold feet. So you would like take him and he's following you, he's ready to sleep with you, and then you start propositioning another man, and your husband's like, how could you do this to me? And runs off. But then you can sweeten him up and have him be in on it. But then sometimes he gets cold feet like on the way up the stairs. He's like, cheating wench. Like, it's fucking insane. Eventually, I was able to get a total of 6 people involved in the tussle that resulted in my pregnancy. And there's no way
Whoa.
of saying who the father could be, but I'm not really worried about it. Either way, Spawn 13 was born that night.
13.
However,
Spawn 13.
yeah, there was a lot of spawns, a lot of partners. However, that night involved in the mix was also Jimmy the Whore. And at the end of the night, Jimmy the Horde took not only $10 from me, but robbed my home. So when we all spawned in the bed, I murdered him in the room that we were standing in front of Spawn 13, at which point my husband ran out and said I was a murderer.
Wow.
I need this documented, like the trend right now, like family vacations being like documented as like reality TV. I need that version of what Jake just shared from his Fable experience so
I
bad.
love that.
It's crazy. I love the game lets you do such crazy things. That is an insane thing to say about your like AAA first party Xbox 360 title.
Yeah. In 2008, I think was yeah. The second one.
Think?
I know, October 21st, famously. Noah in the chat says this also took many, many attempts of him just getting trains run on him endlessly. I don't often watch a VOD. I'll watch a VOD when I'm told to, but that might be a VOD that I go to watch when I'm not told to.
Enough times that there's 13 spawns. Just wanted to say that.
We ended at like 16 or 17.
Jeez.
And right before the final mission, I killed every partner that I had, and every single one of the kids got taken by Child Protective Services.
You do remind me, though.
In my game.
You do remind me, though, about that game. I think something that I was so fascinated by back then was the freedom that it gives you, of like the ability to just play. Also, Philip Rivers' Ass Family is so fucking funny, coal mines. But I don't think at the time I realized how much I loved that aspect of the game, because in 2004 and then 8 and then 10, there just weren't really games with that much agency for the player, I think. Not to say that they didn't exist, but they were few and far between.
Just in a place, the series. Go ahead, Jerica.
I was just like in a game, you just don't expect that. Like you buy a property management sim, you play The Sims, for instance. So like having that in a big, like semi-open AAA RPG game, very cool, very cool.
Just setting the scene of like situations that can happen in Fable 2 are so crazy. Like I am playing as this morbidly obese, thoroughly disgusting, straight up demon woman who is wearing nothing but a bra and panties, runs into this gypsy town. That's what it's called. You go in there, there is a bunch of like hovels, like tiny little fucking shitty places to live in. I have bought up every property in there. The entire town fucking hates me, except as soon as I load in, all 4 of my husbands that live there run up to me, each of them with 1 or 2 kids, and the entire town is like booing and hissing my presence to the point that the game is slowing down and my screen is just like covered in icons of like, this is like your kid, it's got a pacifier, this is your husband, it's got a fucking ring. Like, it is just like, to paint the picture of the scenarios and the systems that are all working to make that individual experience happen is so much more fucking unique than anything that could possibly happen in like any other video game. I feel like, I don't know.
Sure.
I have an idea.
And it's, yeah, go ahead.
When we talk about playing this, can we at least once a week maybe have a messy podcast where you go in with like an idea in mind for our characters and just talk about how it comes, how everything's playing out? This is our own version, our own reality show.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
A nice like
The Real Housewives of Albion.
Yes.
Yeah, like updates on like the misadventures that are happening in the town.
Yeah.
Also, I asked this question to my chat a lot. Let me just put it out here. I know we're trying to wrap up, but what other game can you play as a woman where you are like a third person action fucking hero, and during the game you can just give birth to as many kids as you want, and then as a new mom just head back out and start hacking and slashing again?
Ahead of its time.
And don't give me like Crusader Kings 3. It's like, well, my wife in that game, like that's just fucking clicking buttons. Real game.
Probably not another game, I think, is the answer.
It's awesome.
It's very cool.
Normalize it.
Normalize birth in games? Is that what?
Yes.
I just want to be clear. Okay, got it. I just want to be clear.
Yes. And then get back to the action, you know?
Yeah.
It's real life. Shit.
For some people,
The Secret Lives of Albion Wives in chat is very good.
Let's go. Let's have a show. That'd be so fun.
What do the Secret Lives of Albion Wives know about Fruity Pebbles? You know what I'm saying? That's a reference to drinking piss, by the way. I can fill you guys in about that in the post show. All right, y'all. I think that's our show. We will be back. When are we back? I guess Monday we're Jake Games. Is probably the next time we're live, other than Jake being live like all the time. Jake, do you have anything planned for this weekend that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got a couple sponsored streams coming up for some Switch 2 ports, Dynasty Warriors Origins, and Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And then I am playing the new Fortnite Fall Guys mode. The Fall Guys that's exclusive to Fortnite, but it's like a 3-on-3 basketball sports arcadey party game thing. I'm very excited for it. It launches tomorrow.
Cool.
We're playing basketball. We're playing basketball. Kayla Gray, welcome in. First time chatter. Long time listener. Jerica, what's up next for JK Games?
We are playing The Wolf Among Us. So if you want to be another wolf among us as well, you should play. I've never played. Josh hasn't played. Kayla hasn't played. None of us have ever played. So this should be really fun.
I'm so fucking excited. I'm going to play along with you guys for sure.
Let's go. Yeah.
Wolf Among Us is one of my favorites. It's
I'm
by
tired of
far
waiting.
my favorite Telltale.
I'm scared.
What about
I don't know. I guess we'll ask Patrick to be on to help change our minds. So
I will certainly be playing that because W fucking video game. Will we ever get Wolf Among Us 2? I don't know at this point. If the weather gets bad in Atlanta, but not bad enough for me to lose power, I might go rogue and play some more Resident Evil 2. So follow Spotlight Games and you'll know, or not Resident Evil 2. Now we're on 4. So we'll see. Jamboree funded. W Noah, W Kayla Gray. I guess next week at the in-person event, we will be playing Halo 2 for the Jamboree 2. And if you weren't here at the top of the show, Kayla, sorry, we went rogue. We also announced the Fantasy Critic League is returning. Josh will be playing with us. We also announced Host on Host, which is basically the Newlyweds game. And we, of course, announced the Noah-led boss fight video game trivia, in which all of us will be trying to take down Jake Twitchin and his video game knowledge. She says y'all are fired. I know. I apologize. But I showed the thumbnails, and they look very good. And people liked it. They were excited.
Yeah, good thumbnails.
We will be back next week with a Jake and Shay show? ? Is that right?
Confirmed guest.
Confirmed. You love to see it. Until then, let's see. She's probably streaming right now, isn't she? Let's see. Who can we
Almost
go
always.
raid into, Jake? Let's see.
Uh,
Raid.
uh,
Following. I think Shay is the move. Let's go give some love to Shay Noel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you on that flip, or I fear we will see you on that flop. But until then, bye-bye.